Good evening, everyone. Today, our topic is Baidu or Baidu. My teammates and I want to introduce Baidu with you. As you can see, in the right side, the small character states Baidu is a Chinese multinational technology company, and it's specializing in the internet-related service. I know it sounds like Google, but why do we say Baidu or Baidu? Firstly, let me talk about some basic information about Baidu, and I will introduce the company overview, core value, and some controversial points about Baidu. Therefore, you can understand the later part easily. Baidu was incorporated on January 2000 and is based in Beijing, China. In the beginning, Baidu was focused on the internet search service, and its most serious rival was Google. But after Google quit Chinese market, Baidu has been considerably developed. Now, Baidu is the largest internet searching provider in China, and also it has the second largest searching engine in the world. And Baidu is an integrated company like Google. In addition to search service, it also develops cell phone application, computer software, and AI. So this is some example. Baidu Maps. This is, you can imagine Google Map and Baidu Wangpan. This is the cloud storage service. And we also have Baidu Bursar and Baidu Apollo, the self-driving car. So in other words, Baidu and its products influence the Chinese daily life very deeply. So how about the company core value? Similar to Google, Baidu's mission is to use the technology to make the complex world easier. And its core value is simple and dependable. However, mostly Chinese internet users are dissatisfied with Baidu. When people talk about Google, it is usually related with nobility, integrity, and also its slogan, "Don't be Eve." But when we talk about the Baidu, it's usually related with despicable, be Eve. So what does make these two companies so different, and what does make the Baidu so controversial? This person is Baidu current CEO, Robin Li. He is also the co-founder of Baidu. Obviously, he is the richest people in China. One of the richest, I mean. In a recent internet seminar, Robin said, "I think Chinese people are more open and less sensitive about the privacy issue. If they are able to trade privacy for convenience, for safety, for efficiency, and in a lot of cases, they are willing to do that." But in fact, the mostly Chinese internet users, they have no choice. I mean, they can't choose if they are sacrifice their privacy for the convenience. Therefore, Robin's word reflects the true company's core value exactly. What's the true value? That I give you what I want to show you, but I don't show you what you want to find. The P4P is another good example for showing the Baidu attitude. P4P means the pay for placement, which is an online marketplace that introduces internet search users to customers who bid for priority placement in the search result. Google also has the similar service. But why this is controversial for Baidu? In May 2016, Baidu's P4P search result reportedly caused the death of the student Zhe Wei, who tried to experimental cancel certify, and he found from Baidu, and unfortunately he died from this. Before dying, Zhe accused Baidu of promoting the false medical information, and a result of Baidu practice of mixing paid advertisement among its search results. Now the introduction is finished. Let my partner to tell you the problem about Baidu.
Let's talk about the privacy problem. A company has responsibility to protect users' sensitive information, such as phone numbers, photos, record of phone calls, physical location, and cookies. In September 2015, Chinese security researchers uncovered a security vulnerability in an Android software library developed by the Chinese search game Baidu. And when it comes to security vulnerabilities, this one's a whopper. It allows an attacker to remotely wreak all sorts of havoc on someone's phone, from sending fake SMS message to downloading arbitrary files to install other apps without users' authorizations. This wasn't just the result of some security bug. The Mo+ SDK was actually designed to do all the terrible things described above. That's right, Baidu apparently actually built the capability into its SDK to remotely upload files, install apps, and trigger all sorts of other actions. And this capability exists on every device on which an app that contained the Mo+ SDK library had been installed. Back in 2013, Baidu applied for and received a Chinese patent on method for triggering actions within a mobile app by having a web service sending the mobile app a web request. In other words, precisely the backdoor functionality Mo+ SDK contained. Baidu has developed many products such as Baidu Browser, Baidu Music, Baidu Map, and Baidu Calendar. Let's talk about Baidu Browser. The study, which published in February 2016 by Citizen Lab, indicates that Baidu Browser, which focused to the Windows and Android, was found that sensitive data was leaked from Baidu Browser, such as search terms, GPS coordinates, address of web visit, MAC address. While Internet companies often collect personal user data from the normal and efficient provision of service, it is unclear why Baidu Browser collects and transmits such an extensive range of sensitive user data points, that report said. Citizen Lab also find that thousands of mobile apps that use Baidu's mobile analytics SDK transmit the same sensitive information back to the company. The report also said any app that uses this SDK for statistics and events tracking sends message to Baidu's server. Users would have no warning that the data was being transmitted or gathered. Baidu said it was collect the data about users for commercial purpose. Data would be shared with partner, but only provides what data is lawful request by duly constituted law enforcement agency. Baidu Combo is an internet slang which is used to irony Baidu's products in China. When the user installs one of their products, other Baidu's products also will be installed without user's authorizations. Then you get a combo of Baidu's products. In my opinion, Baidu should not collect too much minor information from people. The collection without users' knowledge also is an infringement of privacy. I think Baidu should clearly explain to users why it collects so much information and how Baidu uses it. And also it should let the users know when they are collecting the sensitive information. Now, my partner is going to introduce about the ethical part of the Baidu.
Right now, I'm gonna talk about the aspect of business ethics. In general, I'm gonna talk about Baidu betray their business ethics in two aspects: unfair competition and paid search or paid advertising. Unfair competition is essentially a deceptive or wrongful business practice that economically harms either consumers or business entities, which is a kind of common unlawful competition between companies. Baidu has no exception. On January 29, 2018, ByteDance Technology Company, the operator of China's most popular news app, files $1.5 million lawsuit against Baidu for unfair competition. According to the South China Morning Post, ByteDance said Baidu used its monopoly advantage to mislead users and damage ByteDance's reputation. Since ByteDance news app is one of China's most popular news apps, it is the biggest competitor of Baidu in the field of news feed advertising. Therefore, Baidu trying to use unfair competition method to harm the interest of ByteDance. When Baidu users search for keywords related to ByteDance on their phones, the search engine attached a warning below links to the page of ByteDance. This website may not be accessible because of unstable service. Also, Baidu trying to mislead users by posting the article on its own platform about ByteDance being ordered by the government to make changes to its platform because of pornography and vulgar content. This kind of unfair competition by Baidu's monopolistic advantage has seriously misled users and harmed ByteDance's reputation. On February 28, 2018, a security app company, PSafe, also filed a lawsuit against Baidu's subsidiary in Brazil for violating unfair competition. This subsidiary launched an Android app called DU Speed Booster. On this app, it stated that PSafe's flagship Android app was a virus and should be immediately uninstalled. This behavior of Baidu's subsidiary influencing users and denigrating PSafe's image and misleading users to uninstall the app. Now let's see how Baidu betrayed their business ethics by paid search. Paid search is when you type something into a search engine. The search engine responds with a list of web pages that are relevant to your query. And on the top and bottom of this list will appear the paid advertisements. Even though the paid search looks fair to the search engine company since this is one of the most important income sources. However, unlike most search engines, Baidu mixes sponsors links with genuine search results, with a road promotion in small characters at the end of sponsors items. Also, Baidu allows misleading medical information and fake treatments to reach users. Baidu's paid advertising attached people's attention is because the Chinese government launched an investigation into Baidu after the death of a student after trusting the highly placed paid advertising result of treatment. The student had a rare form of cancer and he used Baidu to sought the treatment from a hospital. He simply trusted the hospital that paid for advertising and lists on the top of the search results. Due to the misleading medical information and the misleading treatment's effectiveness from the hospital, the 21-year-old student died after unsuccessful and controversial treatment. I believe Baidu should be punished sharply like Google paid $500 million for medical advertisements scandal. All the search engines should strictly check bidders' claim before selling lists to them. All the search engines should provide users with a safe and trustworthy search experience. Thank you.